Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? It was kind of weird seeing this man in this week's episode of JoJo, but not too surprising seeing how one of his friends, or at least one of his comrades from the old school Stardust, was there. So it's only fair that I guess you can say he would show up in some type of way if that guy had any chance to tell a story, which was pretty messed up. Like, why does this man need to get bodied like so dang quickly, bro? Like, I don't get it. Like, oh my God, someone from the past. Like, you didn't see the guy from Diamonds Are Unbreakable get busted. You know what I mean? Like, he shows up and has a normal stand experience and comes out alive, and then this guy shows up, one of the Stardust Crusaders, and they're like, nah, kill him. So, it just goes to show you that all of these stand users are very intelligent, but with age and with like injuries, you just can't be the same person that you were before. So it kind of puts more perspective on, if you haven't been able to do as much as you used to back in the day, in the case of, you train your body, you pretty much figure out all of the things to put yourself in a better position to, take people out. Instead, he was more only worried about the arrow this week, so uh, he had no real tendency to actually protect himself as much as he wanted to get the arrow from himself, or like not from himself, but from the area at least, and failed to do so seemingly. Because as of now, I am so confused. Either this mystery person at the very end is literally like some weird entity that may like come back later on the show, like later on, and be its own thing or something. Like it's not a part of this arc or like these final episodes, and it's just showing itself to be like, hey, here's a tease. Because if you look very closely, and I don't think I'm gonna use it as my photo, like my thumbnail, but if you guys look very closely, he has the arrow in his face, and it looks like it's smoking or something, almost as if he's like coexisting with it. So because of that, it gave me the weird feeling that he may be like way too far ahead of our characters as of now, and even maybe Crimson guy, because like he said, he didn't even notice the guy sneak up, or not even, I guess it wasn't really sneaking, but the guy he could have either already been there, or he literally just showed up and started walking past like nothing was important to him. So very strange at the very end of this episode. But to get back to the beginning and what happened was very sad, bro. Like I hate seeing people that are self-efficient, and they take care of themselves, they do well for themselves, they fight, they do everything well without help. And to see that person who's the leader of all of these, gang members in his group, be reduced down to needing some random civilians help that he thought he was getting, and then, come to find out it's really not. It's really sad to see this like transformation of someone being so strong reduced down to something so weak and needy. So that was pretty rough. Not to mention the fact that he's literally like a corpse, and it feels like if Geo wanted to keep him alive longer, it seems like he could maybe give him some more energy or something. That's what they keep kind of putting his overall being there too, is like, oh, his soul is somehow still in there, but his corpse, he's a corpse, and his soul is just literally producing this body a little bit more energy so it can keep fighting, something along those lines. And uh, it sucks, man. So what happened is he lost like all functionality almost of a. Well, he did. He lost all the like true functionalities, and he was starting to learn how to read situations, see people through other needs and other methods. Hence why he could see a scar under, or like something that could be still almost bleeding underneath someone's like clothes and stuff. He could see all of the scar practically on the boss that he got from the paperclip guy. So, or the paperclip guy, the metal guy. Um, and because of that, it was pretty clear to him that he may not be able to see, but somehow he's seeing things that he can, clearly, physically, and mentally see somehow. Even though the boss has already noted that he's practically just done. Like he can't his ears are ruptured from the fight that he had. Like I didn't think I was gonna be right, but it made sense that someone else said that because he's as he is, his ears just didn't bleed nearly as much as, the other guy because there's no blood to be lost without a heart pumping, so the guy who created this show is an absolute nutcase when it comes down to like the body and understanding how whatever in the situations happens, how it should affect or how it should react naturally in actual human, physiology or whatever. So that's pretty scary, man. The guy who creates this stuff is pretty scary with the with the pencil when it comes down to actually making things be concise and un you can't you can't challenge what he's saying or what he's writing in this because you could actually go into a medical book or into a doctor's office and ask him, like what would happen if, I had no heartbeat, my blood wasn't regulate, like, wasn't pushing out blood the way it's supposed to be, and I rupture my eardrums, and they would probably tell you there probably wouldn't be any blood to get to that area quick enough to see it, overall. And I really hope my mic is not messed up after I just moved it a slight bit to the left. So I apologize if it is. But yeah, with all that being said, this episode, oh man, like watching someone who's already been beaten and tore to pieces by punches, and now all of a sudden we got to, watch him try to protect the arrow and stuff like that while we know what happened to him in the we know what happened to him in a flashback with both of these characters, the guy who I was just playing as Geo, Jesus, Giovanna, um, them splitting up and going to Africa. The guy that we're watching went to Africa and Europe, and the main character from Star went to Asia and USA. So of course he wasn't in those two places, unfortunately. So yeah, we wind up getting to see exactly where that man's is, and it happens to just so be in Europe. So he gets bodied. It's kind of funny that they haven't had any contact with each other seemingly. Like, oh, I guess there might have been some contact, and that's why uh in the very like first beginning of the season, the guy who's from Unbreakable, that's why he calls in and like gives a little bit of advice of what he believed on the person that was supposedly a reincarnation of Dio, or even if he's just some type of like child of Dio or something along those lines. He wanted to keep tabs on him, and because he wasn't doing anything like crazy bad or something like that from the phone call from the guy from that show, he didn't, step in himself and kind of figure out what was. Oh, that's sick. I'm done though. Oh, I got him. Nice. Um, but yeah, overall, man, these guys do not care about old characters. Like, if anybody could take some advice from how to just destroy old characters and act like it didn't even happen, is Borinto. Like, they need to just take some notes after watching this JoJo show. Be like, oh, that's how they treat their old characters? Okay, 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 okay. He did something and gets bodied. Awesome. So I don't know. I'm really, really like blown back that they just instantly whopped this character as quickly as he came. So with all that being said, everybody, I hope you have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. Oh, and the boss's design when he takes off his shirt was so dope. Like, I've seen this character in pictures and stuff, like this art of him. I've never seen him animated or whatever, but I've seen him in a game actually, so I guess that is a way of animation or, some type of graphical crap. But I didn't think this was the same guy as the dude in the suit with the red. I mean, I didn't for to be fair, I didn't see his stand or anything when he was in this this form with all these tattoos and stuff when I first saw him. So I didn't know what the heck was going on. I just saw a dope looking character and I was like, man, that guy looks sick. I can't wait to find out what he's about. And now I know he's the boss, and he kills off Star Crusader characters. What an ass! But with that being said, everybody, I hope you have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I will definitely talk to you guys very soon here. Bound Stray Dogs, absolutely hype episode, so I can't wait to talk to you guys about it. Peace.